Checkmate Lincolnites, welcome to Solo ReacTalk. This afternoon I'm going to be reacting to the Cornerstone of Johnny Reb, made on the Atun-Shei Films YouTube channel. Yes, this was a request by Nomad15067. Last time I reacted to Checkmate Lincolnite videos, I think it was like, 6 or 7 months ago, and I thought that was the end. But it seems like there's a episode 10 on the playlist, so that's what I'm going to be reacting to today. And yeah, the Cornerstone of Johnny Reb. Johnny Reb and Billy Yank, or Yankee, Billy Yank. Yes, I remember them. On debating on either the Union side or the Confederate side. I remember them. But yeah, this is an interesting title for the video, The Cornerstone of Johnny Reb. I wonder what's going on. Yeah. Last time we were here with Checkmate Lincolnites, there were zombies being resurrected. You know, Confederate zombies, if I can say that. Yeah. There were zombies being resurrected by some Nazi guy. I forgot his name. I forgot that guy's name. But yes, I remember that as well. I wonder, are we continuing on from that, situation, or is this going to be just a whole new video? I'm not sure, but let's see what happens. Okay. Oh yes, remember, if you want to check out my previous reactions to the other Checkmate Lincolnite videos, the playlist card is going to be at the top here. If you guys want to check out the original video as well as Atun-Shei Films YouTube channel, the links are going to be in the description below. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, Billy Yankee. Oh, Yank. I think it's Billy Yank. Yeah. Sorry. Johnny Reb.
You know, Johnny, I'm not going to do this if you're not going to listen.
I'll listen, Billy. I will. It's just, it's not easy for me.
Oh, are you going to finally accept that the, what do they call it? The lost cause myth is just, it's a load of baloney, Are you finally going to accept that the Civil War was based on slavery? Are you going to accept that now, Johnny Reb, or what? I hear you saying you are open. You're opening yourself up. You want to listen. Okay, fingers crossed.
Do you mean that, though? Or are you just saying it?
My mind is open. Convince me if you can.
All right. We've talked about a lot of Southern history on this show, from 1776 to the modern day. But there's one thing we've never actually touched on: the Confederacy's founding documents. What the governments and politicians of Southern states themselves said, loudly and publicly, in 1860 and 61, justifying their secession.
Uh-oh, the receipts. Okay, let's hear what these secessionist states had to say. The reasoning of why they are seceding. Let's hear.
The secession documents. Really? That's your big last move? I ain't no spring chicken, Billy, and this ain't Civil War History 101.
Trust me, I don't think you know just how deep this goes and how crazy it gets. Okay.
Checkmate, Confederates. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I just expected Johnny Reb to say checkmate, Lincolnites, But anyways, let's continue. Sorry.
So here's what happened. On December 24th, 1860, the South Carolina Secession Convention drafts a Declaration of Immediate Causes of Separation, wherein they state,
"The non-slaveholding states have assumed the right of deciding upon the propriety of our domestic institutions, They have denounced as sinful the institution of slavery. They have permitted the open establishment among them of abolitionist societies, whose avowed object is to take away the property of the civilians of other states. They have encouraged and assisted thousands of our slaves to leave their homes, and those who remain have been incited to servile insurrection.
Exhibit A.
Mississippi seceded on January 9th, 1861, and about 2 weeks later, their secession convention drafted its own declaration.
Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery, the greatest material interest in the world. Utter subjugation awaits us in the Union if we should consent longer to remain in it. It is not a matter of choice, but of necessity. We must either submit to degradation and to the loss of property worth $4 billion of money, or we must secede from the Union framed by our fathers.
Florida
Exhibit B.
seceded just a day after Mississippi, declaring that
All hope of the preservation of the federal union, upon terms consistent with the safety and honor of the slaveholding states, has finally dissipated by the recent indications of the strength of the anti-slavery sentiment in the free states.
Alabama,
Exhibit C.
following suit on January 11th,
A sectional party, known as the Black Republican Party,
and they mean black in a racial sense,
has in the recent election elected Abraham Lincoln to the office of president upon the avowed principle that the Constitution of the United States does not recognize property in slaves, and that the government should prevent its extension into the common territories of the United States, and that the power of the government should be so exercised that slavery, in time, should be exterminated.
Georgia
Exhibit D.
This report on the causes of secession, drafted on January 29th, harps on a similar theme.
This is the party to whom the people of the North have committed the government, the prohibition of slavery in the territories, hostility to it everywhere, the equality of the black and white races, disregard of all constitutional guarantees in its favor, were boldly proclaimed by its leaders and applauded by its followers.
Exhibit E. It goes on. It goes on.
Louisiana didn't draft a declaration when they seceded on January 26th, but the state government, fearful that they might have to fight Texas in the Civil War sure to follow, sent a diplomat named George Williamson to the Lone Star State to extensively lay out their reasons for secession and urge Texans to join them in rebellion.
The people of Louisiana would consider it a most fatal blow to African slavery if Texas should not join her destinies to theirs in a Southern Confederacy. If she remains in the Union, the abolitionists would continue their work of incendiarism and murder. Immigrant aid societies would arm with Sharps rifles predatory bands to infest her northern borders.
Williamson's words,
F.
which called to mind the horrible specter of John Brown's raid with its reference to slave insurrection and Sharps rifles, may have had an impact. Texas's declaration, drafted early in February, expounded on the idea that not only was slavery at stake, but also white supremacy.
Northern people have formed themselves into a great sectional party, now strong enough in numbers to control the affairs of each of those states, based upon the unnatural feeling of hostility to these southern states and their beneficent and patriarchal system of African slavery, proclaiming the debasing doctrine of the equality of all men, irrespective of race or color, a doctrine at war with nature, in opposition to the experience of mankind, and in violation of the plainest revelations of divine law.
Okay,
Divine law. Huh. Hey. Oh yeah, Exhibit G.
Betty, I'll grant you that there is no debate that the secession of the original 7 Confederate states was to preserve the institution of slavery. Yet it is not until Lincoln calls up 75,000 volunteers to invade, yes, I said invade, those states, that Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina leave the Union.
that's true. The Upper South stayed on the fence for a long time during the secession crisis, and it's not hard to see why. If they left the Union, the northernmost slaveholding states would certainly be hit hardest by the subsequent war. So it made sense that they would hold out for a compromise as long as possible.
So we agree, slavery was not the sole cause for secession.
No, I never said that. The prospect of abolition and racial equality terrified the whites of the Upper South just as desperately as it did those of the Deep South.
Then why were there slaveholding states in the Union during and after the Civil War?
Because despite the apocalyptic prognostications of the planter class, Lincoln didn't actually want to get rid of slavery in 1860. I mean, haven't you told me that once or twice when you're trying to take Lincoln's reputation as the great emancipator down a peg? But all the slave states of the Upper South, even the border states that ended up staying in the Union, were sharply divided on the issue of secession. In some states, the fire eaters got their way. In others, the Unionists won out.
Plus, the Upper South had a lower population of slaves and weren't as economically dependent on the institution. That's where your emancipationist historiography falls flat, Billy. It's all about money at the end of the day. Even with slavery, it leads back to the dollar bill, y'all.
Economics are a big part of it, for sure. But one aspect that's gone critically overlooked is just how enormous a role white supremacy played in all this. When the Upper South was still waffling, the states of the Deep South sent commissioners up north to try to convince their sister slave states to join their newfound confederacy. The commissioners were well aware of the Upper South's political pressure points, and in their letters and speeches, they didn't focus on the economics of slavery. Instead, their pleas placed the preservation of racial hierarchy front and center. As John Smith Preston, South Carolina's commissioner to Virginia, announced to a packed house in Richmond in a speech that February,
"For nearly 30 years, the people of the non-slaveholding states have assailed the institution of African slavery in every form in which our political connection with them permitted them to approach it. During all that period, large masses of abolitionists, maddened by the intoxication of the wildest fanaticism, have associated with the avowed purpose of effecting the abolition of slavery by the most fearful means which can be suggested to a subject race, namely the annihilation of its people by servile insurrection. Southern civilization cannot exist without African slavery. Destroy involuntary labor, and Anglo-Saxon civilization must be remitted to the latitudes whence it sprung."
People like this existed in the world. Yeah.
Preston's speech was frequently interrupted by waves of applause and was widely praised by local newspapers, one of which reported that at one point the whole audience was in tears. Stephen Hale, Alabama's commissioner to Kentucky, left absolutely no room for ambiguity in his letter to Governor Beriah McGuffin.
"The triumph of the Republican Party destroys the property of the South, lays waste her fields, and inaugurates all the horrors of a San Domingo servile insurrection, consigning..."
San Domingo? What does that mean? Horrors of San Domingo? Okay.
"her citizens to assassinations, and her wives and daughters to pollution and violation, to gratify the lust of half-civilized Africans. The slave
Half-civilized Africans.
Slaveholder and non-slaveholder must ultimately share the same fate. All be degraded to a position of equality with free Negroes, stand side by side with them at the polls, and fraternize in all the social relations of life. Who can look upon such a picture without a shudder? What Southern man, be he slaveholder or non-slaveholder, can without indignation and horror contemplate the triumph of Negro equality?
White supremacy enforced by violent enslavement was so integral to the cultural fabric of the American South, so taken for granted as natural, necessary, and normal by nearly its entire white population, that Mississippi Commissioner William Harris spoke for many when he said,
"Mississippi had rather see the last of her race, men, women, and children, immolated in one common funeral pyre, than to see them subjected to the degradation of civil, political, and social equality with the Negro race."
My gosh. And the fact that you have the audacity to say the entire Mississippi would do that. How do you know that? How? How do you know that they would sacrifice themselves on some sort of, pyre? How do you know that they would do something like that? Please.
what kind of effect did the commissioner's overtures and the broader zeitgeist of white supremacist fervor have on the states of the Upper South? Well, we only need to look at their declarations of secession to find out. Virginia was finally forced to choose a side after South Carolina militia fired on Fort Sumter in April 1861. Just days earlier, the state's secession convention had declared that,
"Whereas African slavery is a vital part of the social system of the states wherein it exists, and as that form of servitude existed when the Union was formed, and the jurisdiction of the several states over it within their respective limits was recognized by the Constitution, any interference to its prejudice by the federal authority, or by the authorities of other states, or by the people thereof, is in derogation from plain right, contrary to the Constitution, offensive and dangerous.
That seems to me like an argument ultimately stemming from states' rights.
I would argue that it's more of a reflection of the Southern rights nationalism we talked about in episode 8, but yeah, Virginia was on the whole much more moderate. There you had lots of influential pro-slavery unionists like your boy Bobby Lee, who in 1860 believed that preserving slavery from outside interference was absolutely essential, but decried the Deep South's actions as illegal and revolutionary. Virginia's delegates on the secession convention were shrewd politicians. They knew that white supremacist fear-mongering alone wasn't enough to win over the moderates, but a strong argument made for the constitutionality of secession just might. On May 6th, Arkansas, which had been vainly attempting all winter and spring to broker a compromise, finally took the plunge and declared independence. Its secession convention had already written a document explaining their reasons.
People of the northern states have organized a political party, purely sectional in character, the central and controlling idea of which is hostility to the institution of African slavery. They have, in disregard of their constitutional obligation, obstructed the faithful execution of the fugitive slave laws by enactments of their state legislatures. They have degraded American citizens by placing them upon an equality with Negroes.
Like Virginia, North Carolina also had strong Unionist sentiments, especially in the mountainous western part of the state, where the terrain made large-scale plantation slavery impossible. After the attack on Fort Sumter, Governor John Ellis finally called a secession convention with the following proclamation. It is nearly unique among secession documents in that it makes no mention of slavery directly.
I am informed that Abraham Lincoln has made a call for 75,000 men to be employed for the invasion of the peaceful homes of the South. United action in defense of the sovereignty of North Carolina and of the rights of the South becomes now the duty of all.
Tennessee had a large population of Appalachian Unionists too, but their secession documents were far more radical. A month before they officially seceded, the state legislature issued a public address to its citizens, declaring their intention to do so.
Tennessee has taken her position and has proudly determined to throw her banners to the breeze and will give her strength to the sacred cause of freedom for the white man of the South.
Sacred cause of freedom for the white man of the South.
Sir, I'm afraid that you are confusing the causes of war with the cause of secession. The two are linked, but not the same. Secession may have been about slavery, but the decision to inaugurate war was entirely Lincoln's. The Federals could have just let the South peaceably go.
John.
How? How do you peaceably, let go of territories or regions of your country? How do you do that? Any nation would quash any notion of secession. Yes, first it will be through diplomatic means or, constitutional means, but then eventually it will head down to armed conflict. If you want to secede, know that there will be blood to be paid. That is not going to be just this simple procedure through, documentation or through presentation or through speeches that you are seceding. It's not going to be that simple. I mean, we can think about, how Sudan on the African continent, how Sudan had their own, internal strife, which then led to secessionists, conflicts happening in Sudan, which ultimately led to the separation of North and South Sudan. It was a bloody affair before the two countries were created. When you think about other countries like, for instance, what's happening in Spain right now, with their population also discussing in terms of, what are they called again? Are they called the Catalans? I forgot the group of people. But yes, the Catalans are trying to secede from the Spanish government and the Spanish country and make their own government, make their own country that is separate from Spain. And the central government of Spain is not going to allow that to happen. You know, the Catalans can continue having their protests or having their voting for secession from Spain, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They won't allow it. It will even lead up to the point of armed conflict should any of these Catalonians have some sort of thought of, you know, separating from Spain using violent means. It will lead to war. In my country, South Africa, there is a province called the Western Cape, where there are people there, very few, like maybe less than 100 or 200 people, who believe that they should separate from the rest of the country, from the rest of South Africa, you know, and create their own little country with the Western Cape province. It's not going to happen. There will be blood spilled before there's any notion of separation of a country. There will be blood spilled.
Buddy, you're my brother and I love you, but that's incredibly fucking naive. Nation states will always act in the interests of self-preservation if it's at all within their power to do so. Even cute, cuddly democratic ones with inspiring quotes about liberty and justice for all printed in their passports.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
I'm with you, man, and look, I'm not trying to make a moral judgment about it or be cynical here, but that's kind of just the way the cookie crumbles. And when you look at the circumstances of the secession crisis, it's hard to imagine Lincoln acting in any other way than he did. The balkanization of America was a truly existential threat to the federal government. Prominent Confederates were very open about their plans to eclipse the United States as a continental power. Secession was such a severe blow to national pride, such an egregious insult to the federal government's efficacy and credibility, that it demanded an equally drastic response.
But there were people at the time, North and South, who criticized Lincoln's call for troops and believed that the whole thing could be resolved peacefully.
I would argue that even in the context of the time, and without the benefit of hindsight, these people had delusions of constitutional grandeur. Everybody with their head on straight in 1860 and 61 knew that secession would be an armed conflict of some kind. They knew it. And for the fire eaters of the South, a civil war was a far lesser calamity when compared to the prospect of racial equality. They believed the explicitly white supremacist Herrenvolk democracy of the new Confederacy was well worth fighting for. The most famous evangelist of this new vision of American government in 1861 was, ironically, a man who had up until then been a staunch Unionist, Confederate Vice President Alexander Stephens. On March 21st, 1861, a crowd of 2,000 people gathered in the
Are you okay, Johnny Reb? What's going on?
Athenaeum Theater in Savannah, Georgia, to hear Stephens speak about the core principles of the fledgling Confederacy. He had only just returned home to Georgia after attending the Confederate Constitutional Convention in Montgomery, Alabama, wherein he had played a major role. Mounting the stage to a thunderous applause, he said,
"We are in the midst of one of the greatest epochs of our history. The last 90 days will mark one of the most memorable eras in the history of modern civilization. Many governments have been founded on the principles of subordination and serfdom of certain classes of the same race. Such were and are in violation of nature's laws. Our system commits no such violation. With us, the white race, however high or low, rich or poor, are equal in the eyes of the law. Not so with the Negro. Subordination is his place."
I suspected the Cornerstone speech would rear its ugly head at some point in this episode. Are you going to conveniently leave out the part where Stephens talks about tariffs?
Yeah, he's got a few tariff zingers in there, which is also kind of ironic because he was in favor of protectionism for most of his political career. Like we've talked about before, protectionist tariffs didn't do the South any favors. Doesn't change the fact that slavery was the reason for secession.
Yeah, but all that racist stuff was just like Alexander Stephens' opinion, man. It's not like he was speaking for every Confederate ever.
It kind of seemed that way.
How is this an outlying opinion after all the other quotes that I've just shown you? Stephens had his finger on the pulse of the white South and he knew it.
But what you Yankees fail to mention was that the Cornerstone speech was improvised. The Vice President did not have prepared remarks that evening.
No, but he had given near identical speeches a number of times in the weeks prior, namely in Atlanta and Augusta, where he used the same white supremacist rhetoric and was met with the same enthusiastic reception.
Okay, but I heard that President Davis was dismayed at the lack of political tact exhibited by his vice president. To Davis's amazement, Stevens bypassed the all-important constitutional guarantee of state rights and emphasized the institution of slavery. Could anything, he wondered, have been more calculated to damage the Confederate cause, both in the North and abroad, than his vice president's unfortunate speech?
Yeah, I've heard that rumor too. Trouble is there's no primary source documentation to prove it, and as far as I can tell, it was made up in the 1950s. Do you have one?
What?
Uh-oh.
Do you have any primary source documentation to back up what you're saying there, bud?
No. No, I guess not.
Wow. Shocker.
And if it did bother Davis when Confederate politicians speechified in defense of slavery, then he sure didn't practice what he preached. Just a few weeks later, Davis gave an address to the Confederate Congress in which he said,
"The Republican Party seeks not to promote the general welfare or ensure domestic tranquility, but to awaken the bitterest hatred against the citizens of sister states by violent denunciations of their institutions. In moral and social condition, the African slaves have been elevated from brutal savages into docile, intelligent, and civilized agricultural laborers, and supplied not only with bodily comforts, but with careful religious instruction. Under the supervision of a superior race, their labor has been so directed as not only to allow a gradual and marked amelioration of their own condition, but to convert hundreds of thousands of square miles of the wilderness into cultivated lands."
You know, when you're on social media, like for instance TikTok, and you see something that you don't like, or something that you find to be just disturbing or disgusting, and you can just swipe, and you won't see that video ever again. I kind of want to do that right now with hearing these speeches from these politicians, from these men, as they try to justify their white supremacy in the in America. As they continue to talk like this, I just want to skip. I just want to skip, because it's so, it's cringe. I'm clenching my teeth, listening to all of this. Oh.
Covered with a prosperous people.
Johnny, my dear friend, in the Cornerstone speech, Alexander
Johnny Reb, you're so funny. At least you make me laugh, At least you make me laugh.
Stevens revealed what lay at the heart of the Confederate experiment. In the words of historian Charles Dew, the absolute conviction that the abolition of slavery would either plunge the South into a race war or so stain the blood of the white race that it would be contaminated for all time. The slave republic of the Confederate States would emulate the revolutionary struggle of the Founding Fathers, but fix what they believed had been their biggest mistake. As Stevens put it,
"The prevailing ideas of the old Constitution were that the enslavement of the African was in violation of the laws of nature, that it was wrong in principle, socially, morally, and politically. Those ideas, however, were fundamentally wrong. They rested upon the assumption of the equality of races. This was an error. Our new government is founded upon exactly the opposite idea. Its foundations are laid. Its cornerstone rests upon the great truth that the Negro is not equal to the white man, that slavery, subordination to the superior race, is his natural and moral condition."
look, man, I'm running out of ways to say it here. The Civil War was caused by slavery. It was. Are you finally ready to accept that truth?
Come into the light, Johnny Reb. Come into the light or we will drag you into it.
Get him out of here!
Hey, it's those zombies.
The president doesn't want his prize,
Guys, they're just bags of bones. How can you be struggling against these bags of bones? I mean, come on.
to be with his own. Now shut him up.
Oh man, we were this close to getting Johnny Reb to convert and to understand and to start, believing that the lost cause, for the Confederates, it's just all a load of baloney. We were almost there. And now these zombie skeleton thingies just abducted him. Or kidnapped him, yeah.
Where are you taking me? Please don't hurt me, boy. Don't hurt me, please. I'll do anything.
Hey, it's that Nazi guy and I forgot what was his name again? Davids or Davis? I think Davis. Yes. Yeah.
Please. I'll do anything. Just don't hurt me.
Stop your sniveling, soldier. You are a man of the Southern Confederacy. Comport yourself as such. This is the powerful ally which you spoke of.
It is, mein President. Forgive his weakness.
Yes. Jefferson Davis. Yes.
The enemy has filled his mind with dangerous notions. It is nothing that cannot be corrected, given time and attention.
No. Why does he look like the Penguin from Batman? I forgot which Batman movie it was, but the Penguin was in one of those movies, and yeah, he looks like him. Jefferson Davis looks like the Penguin. He has this extremely pale skin, and then he has this pointy nose, and then he has dark circles just like the Penguin, and he's also having a hat like the Penguin. The attire that he's wearing is quite similar to the Penguin as well, and then his hands, they got like these like claw kind of things. It's just like the Penguin. Yeah. Oh wow.
Rise! Tell me, soldier, what has that little blue friend of yours been telling you?
That the Civil War was fought over slavery. That the Confederacy tried to destroy America for the worst reasons possible. That we were wrong.
Well, if slavery is wrong, baby, I don't want to be right. Your friend is correct. We did secede because we wanted to keep slavery. And you know what? Slavery is fucking great.
No, it's evil, selfish, cruel.
You'll see. You and the whole white race. I don't know what you're missing. Don't you want to be on top? In control? Of course you do. Once we've completed our conquest, I'll open the markets back up. In New Orleans, Charleston, hell, even Washington, D.C.
You really think those latte-sipping white liberals will stick to their self-righteous virtue signaling once they've gotten a taste of power? Real power! No. They'll be lining up just to shake my hand and thank me.
That's an interesting thought.
Come on, Jenny. You're a good old rebel, ain't you? I don't.
It is pointless to resist, my friend. You are one of us. You always have been. Take your place at our side, and together we will do great things.
Why does that sound like something Darth Vader said to not to Anakin, sorry, to Luke Skywalker? Yeah, it sounded something very similar. You cannot resist, my son. Yes. Who is dragging Billy away? Is it the zombies again? The skeleton zombies, or...
Good. You're awake.
Oh, allies.
Where am I?
Welcome to the world headquarters of the 20th Maine Infantry Regiment.
Friendly
World headquarters. Huh.
soldiers. Thank God. Listen, there's something freaky going on. The dead walk the earth. They took my friend. We gotta go in there. Guns blazing.
Lay down, sir. You've been injured. You need to rest.
You guys got ammunition? Weapons?
Of course. Well, not like live rounds. That would. I think I should clarify a bit. We're not soldiers in the traditional sense. We're more
What? Okay.
living historians. Or we prefer to be called experimental archaeologists.
I mean, that's okay. That's okay. We don't actually need you guys to have weapons, really. You know, you're dealing with bones. You know, you're dealing with zombies. Probably you just need fire. So, you know, just get a barrel of gasoline and I don't know, somehow make a flamethrower of some sort. You know, make something that can utilize fire. And I'm sure it will work against these zombies. Yeah. Guys, I'm basing this off, you know, what was it called again? Game of Thrones. with the White Walkers, you know, you just need fire just to kill them all. So yeah, probably something similar is needed here. You don't actually need weapons. I think it would be pointless even. I mean, they're dead already. So bullets, swords, I just don't see that really making a difference on these creatures. You need fire.
You guys are reenactors?
We are, and we take it very seriously. We're all about respecting the men that we're interpreting, but we're not like intense about it. We're not those reenactors. We're actually very chill. I'm Josh. I'm the colonel of this regiment.
Pleased to meet you.
But we all know who you are. We're huge Checkmate Lincolnites fans here. I think you should do an episode on Reconstruction. I've got this John Brown didn't do anything wrong T-shirt that I love to wear around my uncle because he's kind of a heritage, not hate kind of guy. You know,
That's nice.
I'm sorry, I sound stupid.
Oh, Josh, honey, I didn't realize you were here with your little friends. Would you like some treats? Lemon squares, you love those.
Not now, Mom.
Oh, yes, please. I'd like to have a taste of those lemon squares.
You sure?
Actually, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you.
Well, that's great. It was lovely to meet all of you. I gotta go. My friend got kidnapped by a Sam Raimi movie, and I'm gonna go get him back.
With all due respect, sir, I don't think that that's going to be a good idea.
A skeleton army of undead Confederates led by the resurrected mummy of President Jefferson Davis rampaged across the southeastern United States today with the stated intention
America gets boned. Ha! Hey.
of, quote, restoring the white race to its former glory in the cotton states, leaving the markets in absolute chaos. Oh, and also thousands of people are dead, apparently, as we learned from this Atlanta woman who has been hiding from the skeletons in, get this, her bathroom.
Wait, if the skeleton army is just focusing on the southern states, right? I mean, now there's even more states within the United States of America. Where's the rest of them? Why aren't they helping to quash this undead rebellion? You know, why is this being allowed to occur? Where is the president? Where's the deputy president? Or vice president, as they call it in the United States of America? You know? Where's the National Guard? Where are the other institutions of government? This should not be possible. Wow.
Hilarious videos pleading for someone to come rescue her and her family have since gone viral on TikTok, with the whole internet calling, quote, bathroom girl the lol-cow of the summer. And she's joining us on the program today. Bathroom girl, welcome to the show.
Please help us. They're right outside. They don't sleep. They've already killed my parents.
I'm gonna have to cut you off. Okay, that's enough. I think we need to hear from the other side of this issue. Joining us as well is Oberfuhrer Klaus, the necromancer who actually...
Klaus, that's your name. Okay. Let me write that down here. All right. But as you can see, I mean, America is like the gun capital of the world. And in those southern states, I'm sure there's a lot of people with guns. And somehow they weren't able to defend themselves with their weapons. You know, there's some people with so many different types of weaponry systems, or should I say weapons in their possession. The skeletons should not be able to defeat so many people and kill so many people. So definitely, guys, start using fire. Use other methods of killing these undead, you know, Confederate soldiers. Yeah.
resurrected the army of the dead and unleashed them upon America. Klaus, thanks for joining us today. What do you think of what Bathroom Girl here just said?
Well, this is just so typical of the left. Always playing the victim. I mean, what's next? It's resisting the skeleton army today, then transgender marriage tomorrow. Where does it end?
Wait, where does transgender come into this, Klaus? Wow. I'm actually surprised that the news center has allowed this to occur, where they're interviewing the man who resurrected all of those skeletons and has committed, such bloodletting across the southern states. Like, why are you guys interviewing him?
Wow, that's a really good point.
That's a really good point, my lord.
Yes, excuse me, my lord. 1,000 apologies.
Why are you giving this guy airtime? He is clearly
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. Hey.
a Nazi.
There it is. Everyone you disagree with is a Nazi. Is that it? David, I think your audience is smart enough to see this for the deep state psyop that it is.
No!
Are you for real?
Look at what he's wearing.
Look what he's wearing.
How would you feel if our genders were reversed and you said that to me?
Oh boy.
The mummy of President Davis will stop at nothing to reestablish his fallen Confederacy. And once that's accomplished, Oberfuhrer Klaus will doubtless use the power of the sword of Baron Samedi to engulf the world in chaos.
Who is this guy in the background eating snacks? Please, can you leave? We're talking about serious things here. You're not really helping. You're distracting me.
Bending humanity to his unspeakable will. And as far as time-traveling Nazi warlocks go, Klaus is up there. I mean, he is the big one. But he's not invincible. There is one man who might be able to destroy him.
Of course. Episode 4. The highly problematic Puritan man who exorcised Johnny Reb.
His name is the Witchfinder General of the colony of Massachusetts Bay.
That's
his name? Okay. I think I remember, yeah, someone in episode 4, he had a big hat, right? Some sort of like a hat. I just can't remember, really. Yeah. Yeah, but he had some sort of like a hat. That's all I remember. I remember his hat. Oh well.
his name?
Yeah. Come with me. I've got something to show you. My day job is in theoretical physics. Are you familiar with interdimensional travel?
Just the basics, you know? It's multiple universes, multiple versions of me and you, etc.
Precisely. There are quadrillions of versions of our Oberfuhrer Klaus across the multiverse. Some got picked up by Operation Paperclip. Others killed themselves on Joe Rogan. Some got their faces melted off by a meaningless plastic YouTube award.
Yeah, well, that all sounds very plausible.
But our Klaus is not like the others. Our Klaus is much, much more powerful. Sometime in the 1930s, our Klaus was dabbling in the occult when he came across the secret to some dark cosmic magic. What he found and what he did with it, we don't know. But what we do know is he obtained godlike powers, immortality, sorcery, the ability to travel through time and dimensions at will.
Great.
But what he doesn't know is he's not the only one in the multiverse with the ability to travel through worlds. An interdimensional and time travel portal. Achieved not through the darkness of the occult, but through the light of the scientific method.
Is this thing safe? I can see the doors. It's trying to open, but it can't. No, man, this doesn't look safe.
Is this safe?
Exactly. No, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Doctor, you go first.
Well, of course it is. It's just a prototype, but with the right calculations and a little elbow grease, I've managed to open a wormhole to the colony of Massachusetts Bay in the year 1692. There, you'll find the one man who can help us banish this evil forever.
Wait, I'm sorry. Me? As in by myself?
Yep. See you in a bit.
Wow, that reminded me of Stargate. The Stargate movie. Yeah, you know, like how they went into the event horizon of the Stargate, and then, you know, they'll just be going through this wormhole, taking them to their destination. What was the planet called? Abydos. Yeah, that reminded me of Stargate. That was nice. That was a nice touch right there, Atun-Shei film. Yeah.
Witchfinder General, I need your help. Return to Hellfire, blasted shade. Thou wilt not deceive me as thou didst King Sal. Whoa, man, take it easy.
What? I didn't understand what you were saying.
Look, I'm not a demon, okay? I'm from the future. The theatre? The kingdom of God is at hand. The Lord shall return in a matter of months, I expect. The race and satanical happenings in Salem hath all but confirmed it.
No, man, look, the world isn't ending because you killed innocent people and kicked off a really tacky tourist industry, okay? I'm telling you, the dead are coming back to life in the year 2024.
Then answer me this. Who is the most popular playwright in 2024?
I don't know, maybe William Shakespeare?
William Shakespeare? The actor? No fleshy casement seems real enough.
I wonder if it blades.
No!
I have of late suffered from terrible dreams, wondrous and most strange. I wake screaming in the night, and in me mind's eye, I see that face.
In my mind's eye. I hear what he's saying, but I don't understand what he's saying. Most of the time, I can hear the words, but I cannot understand the words. Really. Oh, interesting.
Somehow I missed it because I popped off to the kitchen to get a beer. But in episode 4 of my web series, you faced off against this guy, Klaus, and you defeated him. Now he's back, and he's more dangerous than ever, and you might be the only being in the multiverse capable of stopping him once and for all. He's like a Nazi, but he's much more than that. He's inhuman. He's like some kind of demon. A demon of the pit. Very well, theatre man. I shall fight alongside thee. This blade hath fasted on the blood of many a cavalier soldier. Oh wow, badass. And many Indian savages. See, that I don't like.
You guys are seriously burning books? Oh gosh, you really are in the wrong time period. You guys, you don't know. You just don't know.
Excellent. Excellent. But all the woke history books of the war for Southern independence are finally burnt to ashes. The truth will at last prevail.
Indeed, mein President. However, I have been meaning to tell you for some time now, there is this new thing called the Internet. With the Internet, a foul Jewish-controlled woke historian needs no book to spread his anti-white ideas. Instead, he can broadcast messages all the way across town.
Well done, Klaus. Well done. You actually did your research on the current situations on Earth, technologically speaking. Oh, well done. Unlike, President Davis here, he didn't he didn't think about this, He just thought that burning books is the way to change the truth or the narrative to his side of thinking. And it's not that simple, it's not that easy. Hey. Wow.
Bring me this internet. It too must be destroyed.
An ingenious notion, mein...
You can try. You can try and destroy the internet, servers in America. It's fine. There's other countries around the world that also maintain the internet as we know it. So yeah, Google's not going anywhere. Other search engines are not going anywhere. Other websites that also hold vast amounts of information are not going anywhere. Yeah. So you can try.
President, but if I may be so bold as to suggest, this internet is a tool we can use to our advantage. I myself am a major shareholder in Meta, Alphabet, and of course my beloved X. Allow me to contact some of my friends in Silicon Valley.
I have no doubt we can come to some sort of arrangement.
Oh, damn, Klaus. You really did your research. Oh, wow. Okay. This guy is extremely dangerous.
But what of you, Oberfuhrer Klaus? As you please, then.
It shall be done, mein President. Why, yes, hello, Mark. Remember how you were asking me how it is I have not aged in 70 years? Would you like to know my secret? And no, it isn't just face cream.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the situation. The army of the Confederate dead have burned every library of Civil War books in America. That's all except for one. The museum archives of the Gettysburg National Military Park.
That'll be their final objective. That is where we make our stand.
I have news, sir.
What is it?
Just received word. Klaus has taken control of the internet.
God help us.
No, the show.
Oh no!
Wow. Didn't you make backups? Billy Yankee? Oh, Billy Yank. Didn't you make any backups? Oh no.
It's gone!
He must have scrubbed it from the servers.
No! It's like someone stabbed the Mona Lisa! The greatest work of art that the world has ever seen. Just gone?
Anybody got a smoke?
Hey, I have an idea. My reaction channel. It has it has these videos. So it's not over. There's other reaction channels that have also made reactions to Checkmate Lickenize. So it's not over, okay? The information, the videos are still here. They're still here. Reaction channels are important. We don't just copy and paste. You know, we are the backup of the backups. So if the main channel dies, at least Checkmate Lickenites will continue to exist through our reaction channels. Yes. Don't cry, guys, don't cry. Why is he wearing flip-flops? What happened to the boots? Klaus.
Say, Klaus, any news of old Billy Yank? Old Billy boy? Yeah, he is up there in those hills with his Untermensches, race traitors and degenerates, attempting to make a futile final stand against the unstoppable might of our army. Sure wish I could see him again. Haven't seen him since before the war. Never thought it would last this long. What, 3 days? Last time we saw each other, we were debating the Cornerstone speech and the declarations of secession before we all went off to fight against each other. Old friends off to war. The soldiers farewell. Goodbye. Good luck. See you in hell. Listen, how long is this going to take? I'm quite busy shitposting on AR15.com. Billy was like a brother to me, remember? Last night we saw each other. It was getting late in the evening. But things got a little rough. Skeletons broke in and violently took me prisoner, and well, there were a lot of tears. I ain't seen him since.
Yeah, he knows all of this because he orchestrated this.
But one of these days, I will see him, I'm afraid. Across that small, deadly space. I thought about sitting this one out, but that wouldn't feel right. I gotta do my duty as a soldier.
Soldier.
Thanks, Klaus. I needed to get that off my chest. Sorry, what?
House. Johnny, prepare the men.
Ja, mein President. Men of the Southland. A new power is rising. Its victory is at hand.
These skeletons are so funny.
Tonight, the land will be stained with the bloods of Yankees. March to Little Round Top. Leave none alive. To war!
Skeleton Army is positioned just below us. The Library of the National Archives just behind.
So you have the high ground. Okay, now get some barrels of fuel, and light them up and let them roll down the hill to burn the zombies or the skeletons down below. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. You have the high ground. Use it to your advantage. And use fire. Okay? Guns are not working. Other melee weapons are not going to work here. You need fire.
If they want to get to it, they're going to have to get through us. God. Listen to that ungodly rebel yell. Drink?
Please. Sometimes I don't know how long I've been in this war. 3 days or 3 lifetimes. Do you recall a story from antiquity of 2 men so close they could be brothers? Men who spent years debating the fine points of Civil War history with one another. Men who went dancing in the city and modeled underwear for each other, by some twist of fate finding themselves on opposite sides in a great war involving a skeleton army and a time-traveling Nazi, and then on a given night finding themselves on opposite sides on the very same battlefield?
Well, if the later seasons of Game of Thrones did not tell such a story, certainly Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny did.
Earlier tonight, when I looked through my glass and saw the fluttering colors of the army of the Confederate dead just across the battlefield there, it was as if I could still hear his borderline offensive voice, see his certifiably wide eyes. Johnny Reb commands one of Davis's brigades, and he's out there for sure. I thought this day would never come.
Colonel, look!
This is where I'm placing you, Billy. Sir, you're the end of the line.
Yes.
This is the far left of the Union line. You can't get any farther left than this.
What about them?
Anti-fascists? Oh, okay. All right. That is extreme left. Yeah. Oh, wow. You're even covering your face with a mask. Oh.
Don't worry about them and do your job, soldier.
Understood.
Now we see how micro-celebrities fight.
I suspect that the guns are going to be useless here. But hey, good luck.
All of them come! Y'all know your duty! Boys, I'm gonna need you to take their hill! What a lovely gathering. Wouldn't you agree, Johnny? Yes. Would you care to do the honors?
With pleasure, my president. General Lee?
Yes, sir!
It is time to do your favorite thing. A full frontal infantry attack!
We'll do! Infantry! Forward!
The horse.
Pour it into him, boy! Enemy!
Mein President, the infantry is taking heavy fire. Shall I send in the cavalry?
And waste my horses? No! Send in the Irishmen. They come cheaper.
At once, mein President. Send them in!
Wow. Okay. Irishman. Why are you guys here? Anyways.
That's the Irish. What are those boys doing fighting in the skeleton army? They know we're fighting for truth and for equality. Have they learned nothing at all at the hands of the English?
These brave Irishmen, they're our great-great-grandpappies. They've been misled to their fates.
I guess you guys will be the ones to silence them permanently this time.
Go to hell! Go to hell and damnation!
I like the soundtrack. It's taking me back to a particular movie with blue giant people. Yeah. Oh, what was it called again? I forgot what that movie was called. Pandora? Yeah, I think it was called Pandora. Yeah. Colonel, get a hold of yourself. You have a battle to win.
It is well that war is so terrible that we should grow too fond of it.
Hey, Lee! Eat shit!
Gentlemen, we've run through all our powder and bar.
If they break through, Civil War history will be lost forever.
Well, we can't run away, and if we stay here, we can't shoot.
So let's charge.
Did you just say charge?
Yes, but here's what we do. We charge swinging down the hill. We swing like a door. You understand?
Aye.
All right. Josh, you take the right. Witchfinder, you're in the center. Antifa Super Soldier?
The extreme left.
Exactly. Now move!
Bayonets!
What did you just say, bayonets? What do you think we're made of money? Those are easily $90 each.
Then take the swords of the skeletons on the floor. They had, swords. Use that.
Fuck it, just grab whatever you can.
Okay. Man, the skeletons remind me of the droids in Star Wars. What are the B1 droids? Yeah. Klaus.
Attack, men! Attack! That's the ultimate
Are you sure this guy is not serious? Oh my gosh.
Hark, devil witch band. My blade hungers for thy flesh, and it shall not be denied.
No, no! The battle is lost! Billy, go to the library and save as much as you can. Go! Get out of here! You're too beautiful to die! Get out of here! Get out of here!
How is he going to save the books? Anyways, good luck.
Never thought I'd die fighting side by side with someone wearing the uniform of a settler colonial state. Well, how about dying side by side with a friend? I could do that.
I haven't seen Jefferson Davis fight. You know, yeah, he's got the claws, but he hasn't really shown us anything. So maybe now we get to see what he can really do.
You are too late, Witchfinder. The armies of darkness shall be triumphant, and you, my friend, will die.
Why does he get a purple lightsaber though? No, man, it should be like red, right? Anyways.
Witchfinder. Witchfinder General.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Jesus, am I slain? No, Witchfinder. I have come to give you a gift in this, your time of greatest need, as a reward for all the good work you have done, murdering women in my name. Do not lose...
Wait, Obi-Wan Kenobi is Jesus? Ha! Oh gosh.
Faith now, my young apprentice. Take up your sword and fight.
But my blade was broken.
Have faith, Padawan. Have faith.
No, it's not possible.
Oh, his is like yellow. Huh.
Through God, all things are possible.
Man, this is better than what we're getting from current Star Wars TV shows. Yes, yes, Atun-Shei films. Yes, give it to us. Give us this entertainment. Oh my gosh, yes.
We meet. Such a shame our acquaintance must be so brief.
Johnny, buddy, come on, man, don't do this. This isn't you. I'm a Southern soldier. I've got to do my duty.
I mean, even if he did betray Jefferson Davis, I don't know how is he going to help you, though. I mean, this guy just devoured 2 people. He devoured them. He didn't kill them, he ate them. So I don't know what Johnny's going to be able to do here to help you. But hey, okay.
Accept it, Billy. He belongs to me. You have lost.
You know, you and I are not so different, Witchfinder. I sense the darkness in you, the thirst for blood.
I am a creator of light, made in the image of the Lord our God.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you have murdered a lot of innocent women. So just objectively speaking, you're a huge asshole.
I shall accept no judgment from a demon of the pit.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, no judgment from me. I love it. I think it's hilarious. Oh, imagine the things we could accomplish together in this new world that the mummy of Jefferson Davis and I will build. We could turn Boston into the greatest city the world has ever seen, under a godly and strong theocratic government.
Tempt me as thou wilt. I would ne'er join with thee, thou devil.
Very well. If Boston will not be the metropolitan hub of New England in this new world order, then perhaps Providence will.
Wait a minute. Yes, this is a Star Wars scene right here. I'm just trying to think. Vader and Luke, yeah, they were having the final battle, right? Yes, and Vader was trying to convince Luke to join his side, but then Luke's like, no, I'm not gonna join your side, and then Vader was like, oh, okay, if you won't, then maybe your sister will. Yeah, this is that part here. Oh wow, okay.
Oh, Scheiße.
Fatality.
Before I kill you, know that slaves will bury you in an unmarked grave. You and your false version of history will be utterly forgotten.
I give your new Confederacy 4 years. Tops.
I give it 1 year, tops. Because if this Confederacy succeeds and, the separation of the United States occurs with the southern states in our current present time, there are at least 2 countries that will take advantage of this chaos in America. And you know those countries. I won't mention them. You know them yourselves. They will take advantage of this chaos and they will make sure that America never becomes a threat to their future plans ever again. They will make sure. So I give you 1 year tops, not 4. Billy? Really? Just like that, you're dead? Oh my gosh. That happened faster than I thought, but wow. Well, good for you, Davis. You don't waste time. You're not like other bad people out there or like villains who always giving us speeches and they don't finish the job. You finished the job. Well done to you. Damn. This face.
Go to hell and take your friends with you.
Want to say a few words?
I think not. Thy friend was a grave sinner, and is most certainly in hell.
Hey, Witchfinder. Fuck off.
As God is my witness. As God is my witness, I'll never be taken for a fool again. As God is my witness, I'll never be fooled again.
Hey, the Checkmate Lincolnite theme song. Whoa! Wow, 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 wow. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Oh, wow, guys, that was a nice movie. That was a nice movie. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that was the Cornerstone of Johnny Reb, made on the Atun-Shei Films YouTube channel. I should say it's part of the Checkmate Lincolnites playlist, yes. And yeah, it was a request by Nomad15067. Yeah, this was nice. This was really enjoyable. Really, the production of this entire movie was excellent. You know, I like how they showed the President Jefferson Davis, like, like I said, he reminds me of the Penguin from the Batman movies. Really, he was convincing as an evil person, with the claws and the makeup and the nose and everything. He was very convincing. And of course, Klaus as well was also extremely convincing with his, ability to assess what's going on in this current world that he's living in, and then, adapt to it and learn from it and use it to his advantage. That was excellent on his part, really. How he was able to have connections with the most powerful, people who have access to the internet, who control the internet, essentially. Yeah, that's amazing, really. And then, of course, Billy Yank and his friends, if I can say that, those who were part of the, what did they call it again? That organization, of these people who reenact, past wars, part of the Union forces. Yeah, I forgot what they call their organization. I forgot the name. I'm sorry about that. I didn't write it down here. But yeah, it was really interesting to see all of those members of the group. And the guy who's eating, junk food in the background all the time. Yeah, that guy was irritating. Like, why was he there? Did he even contribute to the final battle? I didn't see him. But anyways, yeah. And then, of course, the Witchfinder with his, very archaic English, if I can say that. Like I said, I can hear the words, but I cannot understand a thing he was saying. So yeah, it was really interesting to hear, how Atun-Shei Films, is able to act in this type of person, as the Witchfinder and speak this way. So yeah, it was really interesting. The Jedi battle was good too. Oh, the lightsaber battle, really. What did I call it? The Jedi battle? No, sorry guys, the lightsaber battle. Yes, the lightsaber battle was good between the Witchfinder and Klaus, and also the final battle between the zombie bone people, Confederates as well as the Union forces. That final battle was actually quite fun. I thought they were going to use fire. I really thought they were going to use fire. I thought it was going to be something similar to Game of Thrones in that respect, but no, they used weapons. They used melee type weapons as well, and yeah, it was an epic battle. Really, really epic battle. Oh yes, and even before all of this, we were still trying to convince Johnny Reb about, the Civil War actually started because of the abolition of slavery within the states. So yes, also that information was, really interesting to hear about. Like I said before, that essentially these are the receipts of these different states that have decided to secede from the Union. They've explained it themselves. They've given you the reasons why they are seceding. It's in plain English. It's right there. It's written. There's no way of trying to confuse this information or try to analyze it in a different way. It's right there. The reasons why they're seceding is because they want to continue on with their slavery institution. They want to continue to have slavery within their economy, within their society, because they believe that should the black Africans that have been enslaved be given freedom, they'll either rebel against their former white masters, or the economy will tank, or or the very fact that or the idea, I should say, the idea of having a black man or a black woman at equal standing with a white man or a white woman is unthinkable to them. It's heresy to them. It's something that they cannot truly imagine ever happening. So yeah, they've given us the clear reasons why they wanted to secede. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's just the point of slavery and the continuation of it. So yeah, we've been given those receipts, And thank you again to Billy Yank for for compiling all that information and giving it to Johnny Reb. And Johnny Reb finally, he was convinced, he understood, and unfortunately, he had to see his friend die to finally take that plunge in understanding that what has happened was wrong, and he's accepted that it was wrong, and he has defeated an enemy that was, should I say, the epitome of all that was wrong, and that was Jefferson Davis, stabbing him with the American flag. That was a nice touch right there, because I saw there was a Confederate flag there as well, I think, but he chose the American flag, and he stabbed at him right through his stomach and killed him. So yeah, that was good. That was really, really good. But yeah, Billy Yank, wow, he died just like that. Just like that. Shocking. Really, it was shocking. And now Johnny Reb is all alone. He's all alone in this world. He's lost his friend. It's kind of a bittersweet ending. And yeah, it was good. This was a very good movie. Thank you Atun-Shei Films, as well as all the other people who contributed into making this wonderful production. Really, it was enjoyable, it was entertaining, and yeah, I don't know if we're going to continue with more videos of Checkmate Lincolnites. I don't think so. I think this is the end because Billy Yank is no longer here, and the debates have come to an end essentially. So yeah, I think this is the end. So yeah, well done to Atun-Shei Films. Well done for this amazing video playlist, and hopefully more and more people are going to come to your YouTube channel and watch your content. And I'm also telling people who are watching my reaction to go to Atun-Shei Films YouTube channel, go watch his videos, go like them, go comment, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Yeah, he definitely needs and deserves all that support, because this is amazing production right here. Really, it was an amazing production. Guys, yeah, that is it. Thank you again to Nomad15067 for giving me the heads up on this video. And remember guys, if you want to check out the original video as well as Atun-Shei Films YouTube channel, the links are going to be in the description below. If you like my reaction, please give me a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and I will see you... Actually, I won't see you next time. But you know what? If there's another Atun-Shei Films video that you guys want me to react to, then yes, I'll see you guys next time. But yeah, this is Solo ReacTalk signing off. Bye bye. Bye bye, Atun-Shei Films. Thank you.